letters, film, child pose.
That was Radio Neutral. You can follow our news, reports and comments on rri.ro and on Facebook.
This week in our shows. Broadcast the History Show, the program that takes you on a foray into the rich history of the Romanian people. From its beginnings to more recent times, you will learn about the events that shaped the Romanian nation, not only from historians, but also from people who witnessed some of these events, thanks to Major Romania's extensive oral history archive. If it's Tuesday, then it is Feb. Like most countries, Romania has in recent been suffering the effects of the global economic crisis and has been striving to stay afloat. Find out about the latest developments on the Romanian economic scene in our business picture every Tuesday. On Wednesday, Society Today provides in-depth analysis of some of the most important social issues facing Romania today and features interviews with sociologists and experts as well as members of the public. Traveler's Guide, our weekly tourism program, goes out on Thursday and takes listeners to all corners of Romania for an exploration of the country's landmark tourist sites, as well as some of its hidden treasures, from rural, eco-friendly holidays to adventure, travel and exclusive getaways. The world we live in is full of challenges, from migration to climate change, the economic crisis and international terrorism. All of these issues and more are dissected in The Future Starts Today on Friday. Stay tuned to Radio Romania International during weekends for the latest from the world of Romanian arts and culture, including reports from ongoing festivals and events, as well as interviews with artists, writers, and critics in Saturday's World of Culture. And on Sunday, Listeners' Letterbox takes a look at some of the letters and messages sent in by our listeners and brings you the latest on our programs and frequencies. Okay, for all these and much more on RRI, including current affairs, analyses, sports, and lots of music.
Listening to Radio Romania International. Focus on Romania. The History Show.
Hello, we are Elena Enoke and Eugen Nasta. Romania was unwaveringly heading towards modernization and European integration early into the 20th century. In the 19th century, elite society opted for political, social and cultural emancipation in a bid to rid themselves of the outmoded habits. Against the triumphalist backdrop, in February 1907, a large-scale social explosion occurred in the rural world, known as the Peasant Uprising of 1907. Its impact on Romanian society was very strong, and the uprising also came to be known abroad. Historian Alin Ciupala teaches modern Romanian history at the History Faculty with the University of Bucharest. Professor Ciupala emphasized the importance of the shock the uprising generated, in stark contrast with Romania's ambition to become a modern European country.
Răscoala a reprezentat un mare șoc în epoca la nivelul societății românești, datorită faptului că
The uprising was perceived as a great shock in its time because the scale of the event was unprecedented. In 1906, not long before the uprising, Romania had staged the Jubilee exhibition, which had its own impact abroad. The exhibition was conceived as some sort of conclusion, an appraisal of the progress Romanian society had made since 1866. the year when the future King Karol of Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen had arrived in Romania, and the date when the constitution had been voted in parliament, laying the foundations of the constitutional monarchy as a political system. In a rather limited time span, on one hand, we have the achievements, all the positive things that have been achieved for 40 years in Romania, while on the other hand, we have the failures, a mirror of the limits of the system.
Farming work was under-evaluated and economic efficiency was poor. Added to that was the absence of work ethics, illiteracy and alcoholism, while leaseholders took advantage of all the flaws and vices peasants may have. The uprising sparked off in northern Moldavia in the Soviet of Mons, which was at the time an agrarian area. On March 9th, the uprising ignited in the southernmost regions of Oltenia and Wallachia, while in late March it was quashed with the help of the army. Enraged peasants attacked the leaseholders' properties, and in some regions they even stormed boyars' houses, killing people and setting houses and goods on fire. There were voices that said that riots went way too far with their claiming actions. According to famous writer Ion Luca Caragiale, the peasants' action had the proportion of a downright terrorist revolution. It nearly had the scale of a fearsome civil war. The uprising also saw clashes between groups of rebellious peasants and the peasants who refused to get involved in violent action. The agrarian issue was a highly critical issue, yet it was not the main cause of the events that sparked off the uprising. With details on that, here is the historian Alin Ciupală once again.
Historiografia noastră consideră drept principală cauza răscoalei lipsa pământului în mediile rurale. După părerea mea, cauzele răscoalei...
Romanian historical research pointed to severe land shortage in rural regions as the main cause of the uprising. As far as I'm concerned, the causes of the uprising needs to be linked to a much more complex phenomenon, namely the fact that the system was not functional at the bottom level. We deal with a corrupt local administration that had the mission to protect the peasants from abuse of all kind. Peasants are in fact left to fight by themselves a bureaucratic system that they cannot understand or deal with.